Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Mixed Texan Politics, your channel dedicated to focusing on the Texas governor's race, the southern border, and many more issues in our state. So, a new poll came out. Abbott has a lead over Jumpin' Jack Flap, which has remained steady. So, uh, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has maintained a 7-point lead over Jumpin' Jack Flap, aka Robert Francis O'Rourke. This is according to a Dallas Morning News University of Texas at Tyler poll, which showed that Greg Abbott is leading 46% to 39% over Robert Francis. So the bulk of Abbott's support comes from the state's Republicans, of him getting more than 3/4 of people saying that they approve of the job that he's doing, compared to just 22% of Democrats. With that being said, 85% of Republicans say they would vote for Abbott in the race for governor, while 81% would say they vote for Robert. So, a slightly higher percentage of Democrats report that they would cross party lines to back Abbott compared to Republicans backing Robert Francis. 12%, 8%. So, Greg Abbott pulled higher in doing a better job overall in crime, border security, the electrical grid management, and the economy. We'll get to that in a minute. Overall, Greg Abbott has a 47% approval rating versus 49% disapproval. Now, uh, more than half the voters in Texas, according to this poll, say that we're headed in the wrong direction. 56% in the wrong direction, 43% in the right direction. We'll get to that in a second as well. So at the same time, Greg Abbott has a 53% approval rating on the economy, which is his strong point. 53% approve, 41% disapprove. So as far as the right track, wrong track. So Texas has a 43% right track, 56% wrong track, as I said. But if you look at the direction of the country as a whole, at the RCP average, Real Clear Politics, only 21% of people in America feel like the country's heading in the right direction. Yeah, 21%, only a fifth of Americans, compared to 72% of the country who say we're headed in the wrong direction. This is intuitive of the Biden administration with everything that's going on across the country with inflation, with this skyrocketing crime we're seeing in these big cities. Our standing on the world stage is falling. So in Texas, in comparison to Texas, I mean, I know it's a little different because I feel like with the economy being so strong here, uh, that number is not as low. That's my opinion. So if we take a look at the Texas economy, it's booming. Employment data shows Texas leads the nation in job growth. This is from July 25th. So Texas added 82,500 jobs in June, the highest in the nation, according to data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So that was the eighth month in a row where Texas has set employment records, adding nearly 779,000 jobs year over year. So in Texas, we have recovered more jobs. We've recovered all the jobs that were lost during the pandemic, and we've also gained some. So again, like I said, the Texas economy is booming. We ranked number one in U.S. GDP growth, according to this article right here. Um, Texas, with the ninth largest economy in the world, according to the gross domestic product, saw a 10.1% increase in the annual rate of growth in real GDP in the last quarter of 2021 compared to the national average of 6.9%. This was for the last quarter of 2021, as I said. So, what's going to matter in the election in November here in Texas for the governor's race? Actually, for the election overall. The issues that matter to most of people are going to be the economy and do you feel safe? The border. I think the border is a huge issue here in Texas. So, yes, we had Roe v. Wade and we have this new abortion law here in Texas, which has been controversial in a lot of ways. So, but it's not a right now issue. Um, what people care about is the border, how secure that is, and what's going on with the economy. And right now, according to this poll, Greg Abbott is doing far better than Beto as far as who they trust is to reduce crime. 43% say Abbott, only 30% say Rook could do a better job of doing reducing crime. Sorry, re- securing the border. 45% give the nod to Abbott, and just 26% say jumping jack flap. Electrical grid, Abbott is ahead by 2 points. Improving our economy, another strong point of Greg Abbott. Uh, he leads by 10 points. Bringing people together, jumping jack flap is up by 5 in that aspect. So the issues that people care about the most, like I said, crime, the economy, the border, that's all in Greg Abbott's favor. Now we've seen him doing a number of things. Let's take a look here. Let's see. So Governor Abbott has given a series of orders to lead on an effort at the Texas-Mexico border. Do you support or oppose? So in this poll, inspecting all commercial vehicles at the border, 78% supported that decision. Providing bus travel to D.C. for those who have been processed by Customs and Border Protection, 51% support that versus 31% opposing it. The use of state funds to deploy National Guard and DPS officers at the border, 57% of people support that decision. The use of state funds to extend the border wall, 41% support, 42% oppose. So Greg Abbott has taken a series of steps here to secure the border and draw attention to the problem that the Biden administration is not handling. So we see him sending these busloads of illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities like D.C. and New York City. And we have that moron up there in New York, Eric Adams, threatening to send a bunch of New Yorkers down here to knock on doors to campaign against Greg Abbott. Now, what would that look like with a bunch of New Yorkers, coming down here on buses, getting off and going into neighborhoods, knocking on doors? Look, sorry, we don't want you guys here anyway, unless you're gonna, vote Republican. I'm sorry, we don't want you guys down here destroying our state the way you guys did up there. So yeah, that's not gonna happen anyway. You have these DC mayors say they'll play their cities as sanctuary cities. They act like they're going to welcome people with open arms, but at the same time, now that the issue has been brought to their doorstep and these people are being bused by the hundreds to their state, I think over 6,000 people have gone to these places, or 6,000, 4 and 6,000. I'm seeing two different numbers, but you have thousands of people going to D.C. Illegal immigrants going to D.C. and D.C. mayor is throwing a fit, calling for a National Guard, admitting that we're going to see this number increase at the southern border. Eric Adams crying like a little baby, blaming Greg Abbott, saying he's, basically acting like Greg Abbott is this horrible human being. He's saying it's inhumane what he's doing. And reality is, what Joe Biden is doing is inhumane. So another thing that this poll shows is that in Texas, 48% of the respondents blame the Biden administration for inflation, compared to just 9% who say Greg Abbott is the problem. So a plurality of people realize that this issue does not rely on Governor Abbott. Like I said, the Texas economy is booming. Look, I work for a small business, a very small business, about 5 employees, and I see it every day that people are spending money. people are coming out. So right now we're in our slow season because of the summertime. It's really hot out here, and people just don't want to come out on certain days of the week because of the heat. So, with that being said, we're still maintaining. We're still keeping the doors open. People are spending money. People are coming to have a good time. And that's going to pick up in the fall when the weather cools down. We're going to be doing numbers like we did in the spring or last fall. So I'm not worried about it one bit. So I'm not saying inflation hasn't impacted us because we have had to raise prices to cover certain costs of things, but overall we're staying afloat. We're maintaining very well. Our numbers are strong. The outlook is strong for the rest of the year. So, and I think that's intuitive to our leadership here in Texas. Now, I'm not the biggest Greg Abbott supporter. I did vote for him in 2018, but I voted against him in the primaries because I wanted to see Allen West win the race. I voted for Allen West. Unfortunately, he came up short, and I'm now backing Greg Abbott because I'll tell you what, Greg Abbott is far better than Jumpin' Jack Flap. I don't trust this guy as far as I can throw him. So, with all of his flaws, he does have some strong points. I think he is doing an okay job on the border. It's not 100% his responsibility because the Biden administration does. That is their job to protect, secure the border. But with that being said, I don't know what Greg Abbott can and can't do within the refinements of the law. So I don't know. Can Greg Abbott call declare an invasion, and what are the legal ramifications for doing so? I'm sure these are things that he's looked into, but like I said, with that being said, he is doing something about it. It may not be perfect. It may not be the best solution, but he is combating with Operation Lone Star and things like drawing attention to the issue by saying he's busted to D.C. It could be a political stunt, but hey, it's working. We have these liberals crying and complaining like I think it's hilarious. I'm sorry. I think it's funny how hypocritical these people are. But yeah. But I'm going to end the video right there. I just want to talk about this race here in Texas for the governorship, and I'm going to continue to report on these polling numbers as we get closer. I'm going to talk about fundraising numbers and things like that, how the race is looking. I think it's going to be about an 8 to 10 point race in favor of Greg Abbott. He will come out on top with a solid margin, but it's up to you to get out there and vote. We don't want to see Texas go the way of California and New York, Illinois, these other liberal places. We want to keep Texas a stronghold from a thriving economy, conservative bastion, a place where people can come to live and raise their families and find good jobs and live their lives. I live in Dallas Fort Worth and I see it every day. We have houses being built here, apartment complexes, businesses being built. The economy is booming here despite the headwinds we face of inflation and a possible downturn in the economy. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end the video right there. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.